This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside of an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies, no one left to kill it, and then it is won. Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Come on. Do it! Do it!
What can be said about John Carpenter's The Thing that hasn't been said already? The horror classic turns 40 this year, and it's been analyzed and reanalyzed thousands of times over. And to this day, it is still regarded as one of the greatest horror movies of all time. But it wasn't always viewed that way. Believe it or not, upon its release, it was viewed as a critical and financial failure. This right here is proof of one of my biggest philosophies on this channel. And it's very important, so pay attention. Because box office success does not always equal quality.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
Some movies, even some great movies, take some time before they become appreciated. Usually when a movie is a little more sophisticated and a little more nuanced than your typical fare, people do tend to miss the point initially, and it takes multiple viewings for them to get the full picture. You don't always realize right away you are seeing something special in that situation.
That makes sense.
The truth is that a movie like The Thing could never and would never be made today. And that, my friends, is one of modern Hollywood's biggest problems. They are afraid to take chances, they are afraid to place their faith in talented filmmakers to execute a vision. John Carpenter, in his prime, was one of those filmmakers. And all credit goes to him for bringing this classic to life. John Carpenter is easily one of my top 5 favorite directors of all time. And the big reasons for that are twofold. For one, he typically has his own unique style about him. You always can tell when you are watching a John Carpenter movie. And two, he was very good at taking unconventional ideas and making them work, making them digestible to audiences. Movies like Big Trouble in Little China, They Live, and yes, even The Thing don't work as well unless John Carpenter is at the helm.
Hail to the king, baby.
The truth is that you know from the opening credits of The Thing that you are in for something special. Once that iconic score starts, dun dun, and it quite literally sounds like a heartbeat, the tension begins to rise. What I really like about The Thing, especially the beginning of it, is something that I believe has influenced video game stories for many years after it. It's this idea of a group of people stumbling on the aftermath of some kind of horrific event, and then in effect having to deal with that situation themselves.
Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
The Thing is a bit of a slow burn, but everything early on, including exploring the Norwegian camp, the hollowed out block of ice, and then the random guy shooting at a dog for, at the moment, unknown reasons. All of this is meticulously used to set the stage for what's to come. But the truth is that nothing can truly prepare you for what's to come. The Thing, at its core, is a whodunit set in this extreme isolated environment. And this drives home the main theme of the movie, which is paranoia.
I just say, paranoia.
And in today's world, who can't relate to paranoia? There's something very unsettling about this alien species who can copy other people and then walk amongst you and you would have no idea about it. The truth is that we don't even need to know why this species exists or what it actually wants. Even though it's kind of insinuated by Kurt Russell's character that it just wants to get to the mainland. But we really don't know much about the species, and that was a great creative choice.
I like it a lot.
I don't know about anybody else, but to me, the unknown is always much more terrifying. And I'd be a fool if I didn't mention Kurt Russell at some point during this review. Not only is he a perfect collaborator for John Carpenter, he's just so charismatic in everything that he does, and honestly, I can't really see anyone in this part other than him.
Besides that, it's on the reflexes.
What I like about his character is that he's kind of a reluctant hero. He only really takes the job because of the circumstances and because he can't really trust anyone else to do it. Before that, he kind of just has this I don't want to be bothered attitude. In his words, he just wants to go up to his shack and get drunk. I actually love the whole cast of this movie. I think everyone plays their part nicely. And it's such an eccentric collection of characters. And shout out to Keith David in particular for bringing some high tea energy to the movie.
It's a crock of shit.
And of course, I have to talk about the practical effects. Now, while some of this may look dated to some people, to me the creative designs themselves hold up very well, and the practical effects in this movie are just batshit insane to me. I always loved the scene where the doctor is using the defibrillator and the guy's chest turns into this giant mouth and rips his arms off. It's just some outside the box, twistedly creative shit. And again, no one in modern Hollywood is making shit like this anymore.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
My favorite scene in the whole movie has always been the blood test scene. For one, I like how McGreedy naturally comes up with the idea for the blood test based on all of his experiences with the thing up until that point. And then once we actually get to that scene, there's just so much tension and all the actors really sell it. Because even the characters come off as if they don't even know if they themselves are human. That is in fact how paranoid they have become. They've started to doubt themselves. And the relief that rushes over their faces when the blood doesn't have a reaction, it's just pure cinematic gold. This movie also has one of the greatest endings in cinematic history. The ending of this movie comes down to McGreedy facing off against this giant mutated version of the thing. And at this point, McGreedy's sole purpose in life is just to stop this thing from ever escaping. But even after he defeats it, the movie leaves you with a somewhat ambiguous ending. As Childs, played by Keith David, reemerges after a short disappearance. And him and McGreedy sit near the burning camp and are unsure of each other.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Now there's been tons of theories written about who's real and who's the thing in this situation, but the real point of it all is that they didn't spoon feed the audience anything. They reportedly actually cut out a much more definitive ending to this movie, and I think that was the right choice. To me, by the end of the movie, you kind of want that paranoia to continue. As a director, you want the audience to think about what they just witnessed and come to their own conclusions. That's what classic movies do, and I'm not kidding when I say every time I see this ending, I get something new out of it. It's absolutely perfect. When it comes right down to it, The Thing should be the blueprint for making thought-provoking, atmospheric sci-fi horror. I've yet to find another movie like this in my lifetime, in the horror genre, that inspires me in the way that The Thing does. It's creative, it's unique, it's terrifying, it's smart. I've only ever given out this rating to one other movie, that being The Godfather, but I think The Thing is more than deserving of my second ever masterpiece.
You're gonna have to sleep sometime, McGreedy.
I'm a real light sleeper, Childs.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.